All right, guys, so I'm going to be covering some of the more popular questions that you might have if you're doing product research. Not too many questions really, but just in case you do, I want to go over kind of more of an enhanced insight. So some of the questions I'm going to be going over is how low is too low of a sale price? So I'm actually going to share my experience with this. Second one is what cost per click do I look for in a product? So what's like the CPC when I'm doing my product research and I see Keywords Everywhere tool is giving me this? What do I look for? How low is too low, again, for search volume? So if I'm looking for a product and I'm like, well, is anyone gonna click? Like, how low is too low or too little of, any type of search volume? So the next one is, can I sell high ticket? And can I share my experience with high ticket? So I'll be going over this, and this will actually offer some contrast to, the strategy we're doing, which is more like in the middle tier. But whether you can do high ticket or super low ticket, I'm going to be going over that, so I won't spoil it just yet. So the last one is, hey Charlie, I did all of the requirements, I'm doing everything, but I just need to know, will this product work? I'm just not quite sure. So then I'll be covering this topic as well. I can promise you this, guys, this is going to be very interesting because I'm going to give you some really valuable insight, especially after reading into some of the comments and interacting with you guys. This is going to be very valuable. So first thing I want to cover is actually sale price, of how low is too low in order to get profitability. And really the question is, if I'm selling a cheap product, can I still make, profit per month that is like at least $3 grand profit per month? So below, I actually never shared this on my YouTube. This is a screenshot. And the reason why I never shared it on my YouTube, because this was like a mini partnership store. This was not actually my store. This was a store that I did a partnership with, and pretty much did like literally set up everything and just to see if this would work. And by this, I mean the strategy of using Google Ads was such a low ticket product. I thought it would be really interesting to just go ahead and get this up and running. So this is like inside the fitness niche. And the second thing is that the products were like $8 to $10. Like they are super cheap, like very, very, very cheap products. And so this campaign was running for about, I would say 40 days. And so this was like a month-long kind of screenshot here. And it was absolutely insane. So we had the brand campaign running for like just the brand name, and then we had shopping campaigns, SCAGs, like literally everything I show in the course and the program. We did that, but we amped it up like just really hard, like exactly how you show you throughout the program. Nothing's hidden, but what I want to like hype on is that this thing took fire, whether it was trending or whether it was just like as far as trending, I mean like seasonality. Like the season was just really good, and it's killing it. And in fact, this is still killing it. This store is still literally surviving on Google Ads, and it's like, I don't know, it's like on autopilot. It's absolutely insane. But to answer the question of how low too low of a sale price is, I don't know how low is too low. Like, truthfully, like think of it at the other side of the spectrum. What's the worst case scenario? You set up a store. Let's say you're selling a $15 product. You get it for, let's say, $2 to $3. And you only get a couple sales. You can judge whether or not, like based on the add to carts, the traffic, like how many purchases, did you get any purchases? What are you showing up for as far as search terms? Like the worst case scenario is you spend like $100 to test like this idea of whether or not it's going to work, especially if you feel really strongly about this product and you'd have fun doing it. I mean, I could talk from my experience. This strategy works regardless of whether you're doing low ticket, mid ticket, or high ticket. It doesn't matter. What matters is really analyzing the data and knowing the protocols to do once you get the data, once you see any traction, and kind of shifting it from there. That's what matters more than anything, because you'll see opportunity as soon as you start poking a little bit. You poke and you see if, oh, okay, there is some opportunity here. I see some gold spewing out, like let's keep digging, right? So the next thing I want to transition to is what cost per click should you look for in a product? This is typically a question that might be asked if you're looking to get data before you spend to get data. So you're looking at maybe the Keywords Everywhere tool, and you're seeing, hey, what, like the cost per click is 25 cents. If mathematically 25 cents with an average conversion rate with this much search volume, like it doesn't work like that. And thank goodness it doesn't. because it's a lot more simple than that, because our cost per click doesn't matter. Like I'm willing to spend $1, $2, as long as my conversion rate is at some amount where my cost per acquisition is profitable and my return on ad spend is profitable. That's what I look for in a product. Cost per click doesn't matter unless we're advertising on Facebook and we're getting like, $5 cost per clicks, then we know immediately like, oh, it's terrible. But with Google Ads, it's completely different. When you follow this strategy, you are going to get the data for your cost per click, your CTR and everything, and you'll see what you're showing up for and whatnot. Now, let me not go too long on this. There is no cost per click I ever look for when looking into a product in product research stage. I never look at like the Keywords Everywhere tool cost per click. It's irrelevant, right? Okay, now the next one is how low is too low for search volume. So if I'm searching around and I see, search volume of a product, I'm like, oh, it only has 100 searches a month or 300 searches a month. Is this too low? Well, the thing is, and something really like kind of weird that I've noticed is that every time I launch a product and I try to calculate, oh, is this search volume plus this search volume? Well, at the end of the day, then I see what I showed up for and what I'm converting for, and I'm like shocked. I'm like, I did not know I was going to convert for this and show up for this. And it's like every time I'm surprised. So the better way to do this is actually to see, is there anyone else selling this product in your space? Because if there is, then there's some type of demand. And if I'm to flip it, the worst case scenario is no one clicks on your ad, no one even sees your ad, and you also spend $0 because you only pay per click. So I've never had that happen ever. I've always been like surprised. So yeah, so basically a search volume is not something to look at unless you're looking at a big niche and you're looking at, like, for example, the Wi-Fi boosters, and you see, oh, 250,000 searches, then you can look at that and be like, ooh, this is a very big industry. Maybe I can cut it a little bit and go somewhere more niche. Like this is like, just general direction, but this is not the exact coordinates, right? Okay. So the next one is, can I sell high ticket, and what is your experience with this? Okay. So yeah, like high ticket works. Like you can do it with this, literally everything that you see in this program, just apply high ticket, like just do a high ticket product. High ticket doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a high price, a low price, a medium price. What matters is the opportunity. Opportunity judges everything. You can sell something that's very expensive and it does absolutely terrible because there was no opportunity in it. High ticket does not mean high profitability. A lot of like the cheaper products, like, I mean, even in that little screenshot I showed you, whether it's that or the case study store or even the other store I have that was selling $24.95, these little stores that, sell these low ticket products, they get traction very quickly, especially when you get a lot of data fast. High ticket, I've noticed with high ticket, there's a high expectancy from customers. Customers are going to ask, they want the product to be perfect. If they spend any type of money on it, like if they spend more money than like the average, they are going to expect everything pristine. And I'm talking even like literally everything needs to be pristine, okay? So also to gather data is a little bit harder, and also the fluctuations will be more. So you'll see more fluctuations with high ticket. So that's just something to keep in mind, but does it matter? No, like I want you guys to do opportunity. Can I sell an opportunity product? And the answer is always yes. Opportunity is better than whatever price point. Price point, truthfully, doesn't even matter. Okay, so now I want to cover this question. If you're doing all your product research, sometimes I'll get a question like, hey Charlie, I've done all my product research, I've done everything, I've gone through the checklist, I've done, I've literally done days going through all the kind of strategies of how to find products. I found a product, I'm just still not sure if it'll work. Well, that's a good question, but my answer to that, I have a couple answers. First of all, what you have to understand is that a lot of students, I've noticed this over and over, will actually end up trying that product. They'll go and they'll try that product and they'll immediately be like, oh, okay, I'm getting data. So they're getting data and they immediately see, okay, I got a couple conversions here and there, but you know what? I think I need to change the angle of my product. This is what it looks like people are searching for. I'm not really speaking to that. Or it'll be like, oh, I could just try a different product because I found something else in that niche and it looks like that would probably convert better. And they try that. it's a game of really just throwing a dart, getting on the board, and then seeing like, hey, where did I hit on the board? Oh, I need to go a little bit more to the left, and then you just kind of change. There, like out of 100% of my stores, 0 of them have been perfect, meaning I've had to adjust all of them and tweak, and now they're fine. Like it's a very simple tactic. This is the best opportunity. It's not like testing a Facebook product where you're going to be spending a lot of money. I don't know, there's just so much win-win to this that I just want to reiterate. But I understand where some of you guys are coming from. Maybe you're worried, but there's nothing to really worry about. It's just, I think you need to understand what the process is. Like another way to put this that I thought was really funny is, when you have a kid and you're teaching your baby like how to walk, and the baby's simply just not learning how to walk. Do you just like give up? You're like, okay, you know what? This guy's just not gonna learn how to walk. No, you keep teaching the baby how to walk. You just keep going over and over and over. So like what happens if you launch this product, you get data and you're not happy with it? Do you give up? No, you tweak it, you readjust and you try again. What happens if that doesn't work? You tweak it, you readjust and you try again. And you try again and you try again. You go through the videos, you read into everything, you go literally through the modules. I mean, all it takes is just belief and to understand that this is the only time where you could literally spend, let's just say $300 and decide whether or not this business is going to give you a long-term like profitability or not. I mean, how beautiful is that? This is the only time. Like there is no other business like that. 100%, in my opinion. Like this is the only reason why I'm into this. Like I have done everything. Like I've done so many different businesses. I've tried so many different things. This is the only one that I've found a win-win-win-win-win. Like there are so many wins. And so it's important to understand that and just to take advantage and have like fire under you. Be like, I do not care if I mess up. If I mess up, that's okay. Like this is business. Like you're going to mess up. You're going to see problems. And what's funny is as soon as you launch the product, something silly or something interesting that happens is as soon as you launch the product, you'll be like, you'll have a new perspective. Just watch, just listen to this and you'll understand. You will launch the product and you'll be like, oh my gosh, and you'll see everything you just did in a different light. I don't know why this happens, but immediately you see something in a different light. Doesn't mean you should go and change and tweak everything, but you'll have a different frame of mind and you'll go over my videos again and you'll be like, oh, I can't tell you how many times that happens and how many times I've done that personally. So very just interesting to kind of note, but regardless, treat this with like intensity, treat this with like, I'm putting this upon myself. I am going to make sure this works. And if this one doesn't work, I'm gonna learn and try something else. Like we're making a decision, like we cut off all other options, we decided, and we're going all in and we are learning this strategy because this is something that we can learn for life. This is a lifelong skill. It will never go old. And what's funny is after you start making $100 a day in profit or $200 a day, you're gonna reach that, like you're gonna be in this new kind of, I guess you can say a new ceiling, and you broke through that old barrier and you're in this new one, and then there's going to be another like kind of another barrier where you'll be like, well, how do I get to this level? How do I go to the next level? What do I have to do? And you'll notice that's it. Like you just go up in levels and it kind of never stops. The questions get deeper, the understanding gets deeper, and also your base gets more cemented where, oh, I understand how to launch profitably. I know how to launch a new store profitably. But guys, that's it for this FAQ, and let's keep on moving on through the other videos.